Good morning, YouTube. I know it's been a while, but I just want to show you some of my plants that are in bloom. I'm really proud of this Miltoniopsis. You know, sometimes I wonder, like, I don't feel like I should do care videos, how I grow my plants, but I think my plants do pretty well. But a lot of people talk about how Miltoniopsis are cold growers. It's on this porch, it gets to be 90 plus degrees, and for the most part, most of my Miltoniopsis are doing fine. And actually, this is the second one that has had 2 spikes, but this is the best looking one, and I just love this one so much. It has a scent of roses that's just coming off it. It has 6 blooms on 1 spike, and the last time I showed you guys this, I did not realize it had another spike actually coming up right behind it, which has 5 buds on it too. So this is going to be quite a show once them open up. And the fragrance, like I said, is just beautiful. I got the Rosy Charm Oncidium coming out now. It's starting to push the buds. My Golden Tiger Crow has its 4 buds going. This, what is this one? Oncidium Heaven Sent Redolescence, I think it's called. This one's been in bloom for 2 months now, and it still has 2 more spikes coming. My Miltonias, they're kind of like a Miltonia Sunset, but they're yellow with a dark purple lip. This one, I believe, has 8 spikes, and the buds are starting to swell. This bulb here actually got knocked twice on each spike. I only have 1 bud because I knocked the other buds off, but the other spikes are doing good. They're swelling. This one I think has 8 spikes, and then this plant here has 9 spikes. They're both the same thing kind of, but just a different cultivar. And that one, yeah, like I said, has 9. My Zygopetalum here is starting to go over now, or it's a little bit more than starting, but that's been out for at least a good month or 2, month and a half. This Lucinary is going over too. It hasn't really, you know what the funny thing is even after these blooms were already out, someone had talked to me about, or I had mentioned how the buds blast and stuff whenever I water this plant. I really started watering it because I wanted to see if I could get that other spike to start pushing, and the buds started to do this brown thing. So I really think that this plant just likes to be drier, and it seems like the bud, you can't really see it. Let me put it down. There. It doesn't seem to be pushing, but maybe it will start again. But yeah, this one does not like to be watered when it's in bloom. I put some moss with my Telumnia, seeing if it's gonna come back. It doesn't really seem to, it seemed like it was too dry. Now it's probably too moist. I barely water this thing with the moss just because of the fact that they like to dry out, but the actual fans are looking a little better. They look a little more succulent than they usually do. So that's probably coming along. Oh, and 2, I have this Laelia anceps in spike. Yay! Let me see what variety it is. All these up here are Laelia anceps except for the encyclias down there. Laelia anceps tipo flare. So that's gonna be a nice one. And it looks to be, sorry, I don't know if there we go. There's a little, you can kind of see the leaf or the sheath behind that little bract there. So this one is starting a sheath, hopefully, which is funny because this plant actually did absolutely nothing for almost a year and a half. And now it has put up this, I mean, you can see how desiccated these bulbs are. or pseudobulb, yeah, pseudobulbs. So, but we're getting roots now, and hopefully it will start to come back. And then let's see, and this one too also has a little sheath starting right there. So maybe the Lalias will be blooming for me this year. Last year I had, it was on this one too with the big sheath. One here started, but it aborted. So well, it looks like we're getting a little bit better. And cichlias are pushing their growth. I can't wait for them to, I had these all potted, and I seen how Rogers were doing so well with the drier medium, because I used to have them in semi-hydro, and they did fairly well. But I do notice that they like to send out their roots and just cover everything, and they seem to like it better when I didn't water as much in the semi-hydro. So I just figured, let me try mounting it and we'll see how they go. But this plant is kind of desiccating, and honestly, I'm kind of bad. I don't really water them that much. I have the mister system up here, but I really don't turn it on for them, and they're kind of left to their own devices, but they're still pushing along. I mean, they're desiccating a little bit, but once the new roots come out, they should plump right back up. And then the Vandas that I said I was never gonna get. This one, these were all rescues, so I paid half price for them. But the roots are coming, and I really don't water these that much. The leaves are looking better on this one, so that one's starting to come along. This one here has a bunch of new leaves coming, new roots, tons of new roots. And then I'll show you the other one here. It has tons of roots coming. And people ask me how I fertilize and this and that, and to be quite honest with you, everything here gets the same amount of fertilizer. I just have a hose connection that I, like one of those dial-on hoses connections where you can choose how much fertilizer gets mixed in with the water as it comes out. And I just set it to like a teaspoon, and I just spray everything. And the next time I'll water, I'll just not water it with that. I'll water it with plain water. And the next time I'll add some calcium nitrate. And the next time I'll do a mixture inside that thing of just, I mean, in the dispenser, I just put a big old scoop in there because I want it to be as concentrated in the dispenser as possible, because of the fact that it's going to do its own diluting kinda. So in all reality, it's not technically a teaspoon per gallon because I kind of have a highly concentrated solution in there, but it kind of works. I think I tested the water coming out, and it's probably around the 300s, which is pretty high for a lot of things. But I mean, I see a lot of growth and things like that. I do have some root burn, but generally I don't get root burn because my plants continue to grow all the time. So so yeah, so that's all the Cattleyas and these Dendrobium phalaenopsis, which these were all kind of rescues, and they're coming back with a lot of growths and roots. Vanilla is doing pretty good. It has this new vine growing and attaching, and a new shoot actually down at the bottom here. A new start right here coming out, so that's good. To be honest with you, the only orchid that I see isn't doing like I see other people's is these two catasetums. Like, I would totally expect these to be having so much more roots and so many, like, just bigger growth, like bigger pseudobulbs, but guess not. I mean, like, even these paths, they're all sitting in water. I like probably flush the water once a week. They have roots coming. I don't know if you can see it, if it's focusing or not, but yeah, I mean, and a lot of these I got as single fan plants, and now that if you look at them, they're, you know, multi fans. No. They got roots going. My zygos. These I have learned now. I do not really water these at all. I used to keep them in semi-hydro, and no, because a lot of people have said that they like to stay moist, and you know what? They don't. I find them, they like to grow drier, a lot drier than what we think they do. And the humidity here is maybe in the 50s or 60s, so it's not like it's super humid out, but I got new growths on basically all of them. All the bulbs are nice and fat and juicy. I probably watered this plant like a week ago, like actually with the hose, and then it maybe got misted once by the mister system, but that doesn't really even go completely like drenching the pot. It just dampens it. So I would really think that if you really are struggling with your zygos, give them a free draining mix and use a sprayer on the surface of the thing to give it the humidity in the pot that it needs and not drench the whole pot. But that's just my thought. And like the leaves, I don't really have too many problems, even when I get the leaves wet, that they're not like getting all spotted. These are older leaves. These bulbs are probably 2-3 years old, so they're done. But all the new leaves, maybe that's the worst that it is there, but they're all fairly clean even on the other ones too. And the other ones that I got were all, I think, infested with fusarium, but I gave everything a treatment, and now they're coming back. Like I said, this one flowered, everything's giving new growth, the bulbs are pumping up, so things are doing good there. Let's see what else. I'll talk about the frags. Now, if you look at these frags, these ones sit kind of really shaded, and this one has fairly good roots for what it is. And this is a Cavacii hybrid, so that's kind of shocking to me how well that one's doing, because they're kind of picky. This one has just been not. I think I need to just put this in the sun, really seriously, because it's just not doing anything. This is a Eumelia Arias, and that's a Schlemii Cavacii, I believe. Yeah, which it's doing okay, but not anything significant. Let me look at this. The Eric Young isn't doing that well. This one's doing fairly okay. Has fairly good roots, and as you see, they're all in water. They're all in water, but now let me show you the ones that are doing the best. These ones, and I actually had these on the other side of this curtain for a while, and they went yellow from the amount of sun. This is a western exposure, and the only one issue I had was this one area right here burnt. That was the only thing that ever burnt, and they were out there for a good while, but they started getting too yellow, so I wanted to bring them on the other side, because that's how I get mine to flower so much, is I really give them good direct sunlight. But normally I keep them on a table in here, and then they get the sunlight, and then it kind of, as it sets, it kind of goes away. I had them on the other side of the railing, which is extreme sunlight all day, and that was a no-no for them. I mean, not really a no-no, but it was just getting super hot, because it was like 95 degrees and they're sitting in straight sun. But let me show you the roots though. I really think that these things need really high light and that warmth. I mean, this plant is exploding, and it's sitting in water. Same with this. I just repotted these in, I believe, like January, February, sitting in water. And if you can see the roots coming, the pot is filling with roots again. And they've greened up again from sitting in the sun, or from not being in such direct sunlight. But yeah, I really think that a lot of frags need a lot more sun than we give them credit for, or whatever. sorry for that interruption, but this is actually the next day, and I'm just gonna pick up where we left off. I was just talking about these frags, and now I have my Oncidiums too here. This is my Oncidium Wild Willie. This is 3 plants. They're doing pretty good. They got fairly good roots. But then I also have this. This is one plant, Oncidium Heaven Sent Sweet Baby, and it's doing pretty good. I'm wondering how many spikes I'm gonna get on this one, because I think I got like 5 or 6 new growths on it. It's a fairly vigorous plant. Then I have my Dendrobium phalaenopsis. It has its 3 little flowers out. Pretty. It's too bad this whole thing isn't in flower, but it's coming along. It's starting to get roots and stuff. But yeah. Let's see what else can I talk about. I split my huge Dendrobium kirishiki into 2 plants like this, and then I think 7 little tiny splits. So eventually them are going to be going. I have like 12 of my Dendrobium Love Memory Fizz that need to go, but I'm just letting them establish and start some new growths. As you can tell, I just watered, and you can see there's water all over everything. Roger just did a video actually today about it, talking about rot and stuff like that. But like he says, and like I've always said, I always have watered, but I always have a fan blowing vigorously on the plants. And the only reason why I don't have one now is because I have my my balcony's pretty much open. But yeah. So then I guess the last orchid is this Dendrobium Love Memory Fizz, and like I showed it before, I'm quite impressed. I actually counted after I did that video, my last video, I counted to see what the growth rate was on this thing. I started off with 8 canes, and it gave me 16 that winter, and then this last winter, so it had the whole season last season to grow to 16 canes. But then now this season didn't double, but it's at 27 new growths. So it's doing pretty good, and as you can see, they're almost as tall as the previous growths. So that will be quite... Sorry, it seems like every time I want to do a video, somebody wants to call me. So, but other than that, no one calls me ever, but okay. So yeah, that's my orchids. I mean, I have some other things going on here. I have oh, I forgot. These are my last really I won't even say surviving Phalaenopsis. You know what? Honestly, I like Phalaenopsis. I know how to grow them well, but for me to grow them well in this space, they just take up too much space, because they like need their own area with airflow and plenty of moisture, and like not too much sun but not too little. And so I messed up by taking them inside the house, and they honestly got crown rot, because I wasn't able to keep them in any type of air movement. But the crazy thing is that I didn't even water them either, so they got crown rot without even having any moisture. So they are looking kind of pitiful, and yeah, sorry, they're no longer, they're not. I gotta cut my collection, so they cut themselves. But then I have some hydrangea here, some iris, this is my turmeric, ginger, and I believe, what is it, crotus? I think it's a crotus. It's insulin plant, my little bonsai, fig bonsai, poinsettia, some hibiscus. Oh, and my grammatophyllum. But yeah, some other things that are going on. I guess I have cannas in bloom. Some strawberries going. This big dahlia, but it's not giving me any flowers. My little mini roses. Let's see, I got 2 hanging baskets that are giving me flowers. And yeah, that's about it. I can't wait for some of these other orchids to go into bloom, but I don't know. I'm starting to feel like maybe getting out of the orchids a little bit, because they don't bloom that often, and you're just waiting. And before it was a challenge to grow them, and now that I feel that I'm kind of successful at it, it's just like the challenge isn't there. I mean, the reward isn't there as much, because the blooms take forever. But we'll see. I'm gonna try and condense my collection a little bit to things that grow really well for me, and that I can actually enjoy the space a little bit more, because I keep adding things and taking away things and getting different regular plants and adding them up here and then planting them out in the yard. So yeah, so that's my little update for the end of July and beginning of August. Thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks for the comments, the likes. If you have any comments, leave them below. I'll answer them. Once again, thanks for watching. Bye.